You know who it is. Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Ooh, another weekend, another week in the books. I'll start right away. Rest in peace to the Giants. Damn. Tough run, it's over. Do I want to act like I know it all? Yes. Did I think that they would win? Like, can we really say that it wasn't favorable at all? I mean, the Vikings game, that was hit or miss. But you could kind of say it, it could go either way. Philly, I'm not trying to give them no extra credit that everybody already praising. But what I'm saying is I just knew it. So, rest in peace next year, see what happens. So you down to the nitty gritty. You got the Bills. I don't care who's facing who. I'm telling you who it's going to come down to. Oh, rest in peace to Brady, too. Buccaneers is out of here. I'm going to say, quote me, the Final Four is Philly. That's not where they at yet, but this is what I'm calling it. Philly, San Fran, Bills, Chiefs. That's the four. I don't care who's playing who. That's the four. That's it for that. By the way, this is episode 201. Congrats to self, once hitting 200. Thank you for rocking out with me. I'm going to continue to do that. So, 201, we're here. Going right into the current. Flo-rida, rapper Flo-rida. Remember him? You probably don't. But if you do, he don't care if you remember him, though, for rap. Because he's been awarded more than 82 mil for some deal with Celsius that went bad. So apparently it was an endorsement deal, including stocks. And whatever didn't work out, he went to court. A Florida jury, awarded him this amount of money. So I expect the ladies to be in his DM heavy. This one is not really a current event, but I just gotta say, the shit that they be putting on social media and the things we get questioned, So, you probably got to visualize this to really grasp it. I'm going to describe it for you as best as I can. So, apparently it's a dinner of gathering of some sort, right? So, it's a couple and a few other family or friends. I don't really know who else was there. There's a chef. They have, their own chef. I don't want to say it's a restaurant. They might have hired the chef at a house, or maybe they hired the chef in an event space. It didn't really look like a restaurant. Could have been. Anyway, the chef feeds the wife, I don't know if that was cake or pie, and as he went to feed, he goes in to kiss her. The kiss doesn't happen, but he's and I don't know if the wife could fight the argument to say, I was going for the food. The fact that he was right behind it, they played it off like it was a joke and all that. But anyway, it says man goes viral for allowing a chef to do this to his wife. Fellas, do we make it ugly right there? First of all, I don't know, man. You kind of got to say, I get why. If he totally acted on his own, I may not have made a scene right there and then, but I had to pull him to the side if this is a routine of yours, you better stop because it could be real bad for you. I won't really press the wife so much. I mean, I don't like her face. I think it's more of a shock that he had the balls to do that or, unexpected. But I didn't like her facial reaction. That would be the beef. It wouldn't be the fact that he did that. Because if they've never met before, they don't know each other, I can't blame her for his actions. Get it? Fellas, are we all unanimous on that? If they've never met before, never seen each other before that moment, I can't blame her for his actions. But I don't like her facial behind it. So I'll talk to her about that. Then press him later about, that's not a routine, my guy. This is not something to entertain. Chill out. Because that could go bad for you if you deal with real goons. You feel me? So I'm not really favorable of this situation, but let's not act out of character right then and there. You could pull that to the side and discuss that later. But, you know, that went crazy viral for what? I don't know. It's a simple open and shut for me. Rest in peace to Michael Johnson. That's the son of Ernie Johnson. Adoption, surrogate, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't his official biological, but he took him under the wing, and he's identified as his son, so that's his son. You feel me? Fuck the politics. But rest in peace to him. If you don't know who Ernie Johnson is, he's an analyst on ESPN for NBA for a long time now. If you watch any TNT, TBS, NBA TV, and you get to the halftime, you've heard this guy's voice. But in any event, rest in peace to his son. He dies at 33 years old. He was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, and I mean, Ben sounded ignorant, not real English, but you know, he pretty much had it probably from birth, muscular dystrophy, and he was on a ventilator, and I guess, you know, the respiratory system, all the complications and all of that. So, you know, the NBA had a moment of silence, send their prayers for him and all of that. So I'm doubling down on that and saying, my condolences to you, Ernie Johnson. All right. Real quick, Chrisean Blueface girlfriend is allegedly pregnant. I don't see why this is important for me to say, but I'll give you that anyway. Wow. Okay, so Rich and Unemployed. It's a podcast. I think if you just type Rich and Unemployed, you can find it. This guy's a little bit raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me 2 or 3 segments, 2 or 3 go rounds with him to how can I say that he's not bad. You know what I mean? I could vibe on his sayings, his podcast, his vibe. So I don't want to talk bad, but I'm treading light because it's not for sensitive viewers. It's not for, you know what I'm saying? So he's a little rough. But anyway, check it out if you're not how can I say it, thrown off by sensitive content. Non-sensitive content, should we say. So I'm wording it wrong. Anyway, in this particular time, it says, once you control the power of sex, which, you know, he said all the way, the vajayjay, but I'm just going to say, once you control the power of sex, and this is for the fellas, you are unstoppable when it's not priority. So if we break that down, I don't think that people want to put that. If you on your purpose, on your grind, you're constantly busy, you're constantly in the shit, right? You don't have really a lot of downtime, right? So you may have the same love, addiction, attraction for sex, but because your time is so precious, you can't really worry about that. You feel me? Mix, but it's got to be a mixture. That mix with the fact was you get older and you've had your run of experiences. That's important right there. You had your run of experiences. You felt numerous vajayjays. You feel what I'm saying? So the combination of that and keeping busy will make you unstoppable in the chase of women and you know, what they call that, beta and hypergamy, because you've had your fair share and you're busy and or committed. You know what I'm saying? All of these factors are good things. That's why guys go purple pill. You know what I'm saying? They go, you know what, I'm out the game. I had a lot. I had enough. You know, the game is cold. Keeping up with lies and trying to make multiple people happy. Some is built for that forever, so they feel. And hats off to you. Some of us is like, I'm tired, my nigga. Like, I get it in. You know, I'm on a grind. I work X amount of hours. I'm trying to get just life right and life figured, as close to figuring out life as possible to be the happiest that we can be. And that is a distraction whether you want to admit it or not. Yeah, it feels good. Shit, ice cream tastes good. That don't mean you're supposed to have it every day. You feel me? So once you get on top of that. So I agree with this statement, as raw as it may come off as. It's true. You control that urge where it's not like I gotta have it. I'll do anything for it. My focus is chasing that. If you can get away from that mindset, you shall rise. You feel me? So yeah, see if you could practice that. I want to have an understanding, voice of reason, that my fellas out there who haven't indulged, you know, their numbers are not crazy. And it's not about a numbers to show off for people. I'm just saying to yourself, you know, you don't even discuss numbers. Who really discuss their numbers? Body count. Anyway, if you know within yourself you haven't had experiences enough, it still shouldn't be priority, because you can level up by staying on your purpose, staying busy, and, you know, give or take twice a month, maybe once a weekend, for those with low numbers that's trying to really come up in the game before they settle down, because everybody eventually goes purple pill. Once a weekend, you can see the vibes, but I wouldn't reward yourself with that if you didn't have a productive week. Your week must be solid. You must be like at least satisfied with what you did do, what you did achieve, where you can say, okay, now you can have some leisure on the weekend. Still, it shouldn't be a priority either way, and it will help you stay focused. Done with that. So last segment, I apologize. I didn't have a pet peeve. And, you know, that should be a good thing in a way, because it means that I'm not seeing a lot of fuck shit, because there's a lot of fuck shit in the world. A lot of things that go on that you could question. You could say, why is life, you know, all spectrums, all shit you don't expect to see, wow shit. Yo, it never ends. So when I go through a segment and I don't have a pet peeve, that's a good thing. That means that week they were low. But I got one this week. So I don't know ages exact. I'm going to just assume, but this is a high assumption. I don't feel I'm way off here. Younger chicks working in the food industry. Let that sink. Food industry. I don't care where. I don't want to go as petty as McDonald's. You can argue the salary, just the environment. You're not going to get the best behaved, but it's still food industry, customer service. You still have to hold some maturity in your dealings with the public when you serving them their food. I don't give a fuck if you serving them cornbread only. You choose that field as a certain maturity, but not to drag on. So when they make weird faces or disgusting faces, when you're questioning, you know, the food they serve, you know, so obviously, again, I'm not going to go as petty as McDonald's, where how much questions could you really have? Ketchup or no ketchup? Pickles or no pickles? You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean that, but y'all don't get off. McDonald's, Wendy's, y'all don't get off. You still have to have a certain patience and some professionalism. It's food. It's important. Your salary may not be important to the world numbers-wise, but food serving is important. We care how the fuck you behave. So, again, I guess there's a lack of patience thereof, or I don't know if they expect to have just regular customers. It's cool if you could come in. It's kind of like, I guess, with, not to personalize and go, when people ask me for directions, and I feel like before you leave your house, you know, you got your phone, smartphone, you can Google, whatever. There's ways to look up where you're headed to give you multiple ways to get there. So when you still have to ask a question on how to get somewhere, yes, that is a little annoying. But if given directions is what I'm supposed to do when prompt, then that's what I'll do. I probably had moments of making faces myself. Depends on the day, though. It's not that I do that on purpose, I think, you know, if I'm having a great day, you could ask me the dumbest question in the world and I'll still help if that's what I'm supposed to. If I'm having a good day, I know we should exercise this no matter what kind of day we having. Not to ramble on. Again, you serving food, especially in either private, you know, I guess they would call that mom and pop. You know what I'm saying? It's not a franchise. It's not somewhere where, you know, it's basic. You feel me? Y'all got a little shit going on with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know you have you know, the menu is pre-prepared where whatever foods and entrees and wraps and whatever, you have a certain way to taste it, you know, to taste a certain way. So maybe something has lettuce, carrots, avocado, whatever. So if a customer doesn't like one of the items, they want to take it off, or they don't want it the way that y'all pre-selected, there should be no issue. You feel me? Or you should be helpful in the whole satisfying the customer. And you never know, they could substitute something you would put, the company, and whatever that customer selected instead, that could become a new dish. You feel me? Either way, pet peeve, cut the fucking stink faces and rolling of the eyes. Well, maybe a lot of them won't overtly show that. But the weird faces and the looking disgusted because your patient lacks, take the fucking day off. This is my fucking food. I don't want you making faces. Feel me? That's unprofessional and immature. If you ain't want to work today, stay your ass the fuck home. Or stay in the back. Say, y'all do the cooking. Adjust based on your mood. You know your mood, but you still got to portray professionalism. So that's it on that. Taxes. It's tax season yet? Now, I'm no professional by no means. You feel me? But I will give you what I can to try to help you. We all have IRS issues, whether in the past, currently, upcoming, etc. So, some jewels in case you didn't know, which I hope you did. I hope I'm telling this to people that already knew, but I'll just say it on video for it to be documented on my shit. I don't mind, you know, being one who's mentioned this. Any discrepancies you had with them, anything that you may owe, or anything you didn't do right allegedly, and if you're not with H&R Block, who I don't want to really slander too much, but their prices is outrageous. I won't really comment on the service itself. I always like the thing called peace of mind, in which if they make a mistake and the IRS comes for you, that's on them. But the prices is fucking ridiculous. I can't stand it. Either way, if you owe, if you've done anything on your said tax year, whatever year it was, if you keep doing it, just know they have 10 years to get at you. So if it's 2023 right now and 2013 taxes was fugazi, you did something left, something not right, they can't come at you allegedly after the 10th year. Do you roll the dice on that? I wouldn't. I'll try not to, but just know that. You feel me? But try to handle all things as possible. I'd rather like break even if I'm not going to get any bread, honestly. But owing, it sucks because you don't know when they come, and they're one of the only people that can just come when they want. They could just start pulling shit out of nowhere. Try to at least get your taxes done before that tax deadline. So that kind of eliminates garnishment, at least pending on how much you owe. You could kind of have a fighting chance if they did jump the gun and start garnishing. But you've done your taxes, maybe they'll work out a payment program with you. Other things, allowances and claims. So the safest, softest way I say is to claim 0, maybe 1 all year. So where you do that, they're getting all their shit. You know, per check, they banking. So now when you get your W-2 when you file, you should receive. But that all comes into how much money you make. If you have dependents and you want to wait to the end to claim them, you ain't claim them all year. This is where you can see how that could help you. It could. But I don't know if that's the smartest play. So now you have the people who claim their dependents off rip and themselves. You can always claim yourself. The dependents and yourself all year round. Now you're saying, I want some of that bread back per check. I don't want to wait till my taxes. And you have that right. Just don't go overboard. Like I said, I'm cool with the break even. You feel me? Because sometimes you need your bread right away. you know? So that's it. Like I said, I'm no real tax expert to the T. I'm sure you can Google and hit up private people who do taxes and can give you more knowledge. Those tax debt relief people, you can gain some knowledge. I don't know who's real, who's fake. You don't have to really like pay and just put your hard-earned trust into them. Find one that you could pretty much do some research and see if they're legit or not. I want to actually contact IRS and see. This was probably like not a wise move, but I'm just a troublemaker like that, to ask them, who should I hit up to help me against y'all? Who's y'all biggest competitor? Who got wins on y'all? Who got W's on y'all? You know what I'm saying? Keep it a stack. Call federal, call state. Yo, who's annoying to y'all? And that's who I'm fucking with. You feel me? So that's just, you know, little fun and jokes about it. But stay on top of this and try to, like I said, at the worst, get your tax done by the deadline. You feel me? So that's that. I don't know if this using validation to get sex. I think that's like the game. You know, if you're playing the game, like you're just out there trying to like rack up them numbers. You just having fun. You trying to get it in as much as you can. So when somebody validates you, you go. You know, I think women are better at this because when they get validation, it's rare that they're using that for sex. It's just for validation. To know that, okay, I got it going on. It's annoying for us if we're chasing, but it's effective if you don't hate. Like if you're not on the, if you just analyze it as a human thing, you're like, yo, that's kind of fly. Like it's a booster. You shouldn't need it, fellas. We get slayed. You shouldn't be looking for this. Fuck your validation, guy-wise. You're supposed to be just out there doing you, making the best of being an alpha manly male. You know what I'm saying? Like expectations is at a fucking high for you. Get it in. You know what I'm saying? So we're not trying to hear that. You feel me? But it's kind of dope when you think about it. So when we do it, you know, when we get validation, we feel like go. Because how much validating do we get? I mean, unless you're a superstar, you out there in the limelight, you know, you active, you interact, should I say. The validation thing is rare on the guy side. So I don't know. That was just a statement per se. Women are using that not for sex. They just need validation in general. If fellas, you want to use validation for sex, go ahead. But I don't know. I wouldn't purposely say that's a game plan that's accurate. But I do understand why you would try it because, again, we get no validation. That's it with that. Fellas, do you rather a beautiful woman, I mean to your eyes, to your judgment, to your liking, to your satisfaction, this is a beautiful woman, like she's a dime, she's a fucking, like, breathtaking, you feel me? Like, this is your, if I get this, I need nothing better, so you say. That's how you hype it in the beginning, right? But masculine, a little masculine. Or, so what I said, the beautiful one is 10. Less attractive, I'm going to say 7, even 6. Less attractive. But favorably feminine / submissive. So, obviously, it has to sound enticing, right? So even the less attractive that can still satisfy you in ways, still put in work that's like, you know, she's not a slouch. You can't be less attractive than a slouch, you feel me? So she's less attractive, yes, but she's not a slouch. She still put in work. It feels good. It feels good. Yeah. It feels... All right, let me stop. So, all that, right? But you get the feminine. You get the submissiveness. You know what I'm saying? I know it gets questioned. Submissive sounds like control, yada yada. But what do you want? Man, we thug it out. Basically because we don't get sympathy. We don't get, you know, a pat on the back. We don't get understanding that it's rough for a guy. Especially, I don't want to take it to color, I'm sorry. Especially for a black man. Let's just keep it a stack. I don't want to minus that all men don't struggle. And all men are held to a certain level of responsibility that they must maintain. But it's hard, man. And there's no sympathy there. Feel me? So, what they say? You work hard, you play harder. So, even though it would favor and possibly reduce stress, reduce headaches, because when you are out there working and grinding, when you come home and whoever you deal with, you want that to be smooth as possible, because out there is the wolves. You want to come home to sheep, correct? Did I just drop a bar right there? Bring that back. I don't have the rewind sound effects. Out there's wolves. You want to come home to sheep. So, because of this high level of performance that's expected from us, we ain't trying to hear that. If that happens to be our scenario, like we just with a less attractive girl, because that's just what happened, that's the way the ball bounced, y'all met, you ain't playing it really, you know what I'm saying? Then fine, you probably can make that do what it do. I'm sorry that I got like a 50% rate that you gonna cheat though. And I ain't trying to put that on you. Let's keep it a stack, because we could want that smoother route, but it's not going to be satisfying long term. Probably not. The few that can make it do what it do, I salute you. You feel me? Because it is a smarter play if you can maintain. And I don't know if you want to take full advantage, because you probably could get away with doing you. I don't know, you pre-discussed that or not, how that works out. That's based on the lady. You know what I'm saying? But, nah. We're going to take the beautiful woman that's a little masculine in hopes. And I'm not saying that's the perfect choice and that's the best selection, and you're going to win with that selection every time. The one that's a little masculine, but the dime piece, it's like, fuck. You might as well call that 50% cheating too, because now he going to cheat because he can't control his fucking masculine ass. Excuse my French. But I don't know, man. I mean, if I go personal, you got to be beautiful, man. Like, I'll work the rest of this shit out. Life ain't easy anyway. Like, it's not supposed to be easy, especially for a guy, especially what's expected of us. So what the fuck? But, I know there's a lot of people that could argue that because you bust your ass, go back, wolves, sheep. You don't win. Bottom line, fellas, there's no W. This is what you want to stomach. This is what you want to stomach. But I know, for me, less attractive, I'm going to do me probably. I'm not trying to put that in the air, but you got to do it for me. You feel me? Like, she get on my nerves, but that's a bad one right there. And, I said a little masculine. I ain't saying, like, just totally outlandishly manly. And the masculine, the little masculine could come from just her experiences. It's not so much. I know that successful women, the women with bread, the women who were status, that's masculine more heavy. That's not a little. And no disrespect to them. That's not a little. But shit, your crush is your crush. I joke around all the time. Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan. Those are masculine women. You don't see that side per se. You can't. If I never hung around them, you're going to say, how the fuck do I know? Because success come with that. The bread and the accomplishments they have, it come with that. So I wasn't talking that level of masculinity. I'm talking about just your regular women that, maybe they had to grind, they raised kids by themselves, shit that they had to achieve that a man's supposed to be there to hold them down with, that they had to do. So they're just a little tight based off the fact of that. And I think you can like dig into that and lessen that. Do you want to? No. Of course we would want me to just trump this whole conversation and look for a beautiful woman that's feminine. Why are we limiting the world to saying that there's only beautiful women that's masculine and less attractive that's feminine? Aim high then. Go for the beautiful woman that's feminine and submissive. But it's going to take a lot of hard work out of you to get awarded that. So maybe I answered this joint for my regular guys, average guys, 50 to 70K a year. That ain't going to cut it. It's going to be hard for you to find that combination. Not impossible, just hard. Let's go. A woman who has been a wife can't expect the same from a man who has never been a husband. I disagree. You know why I disagree? We're not going to do that. A woman that's been a wife, if she was feminine and submissive, and the past husband was almost all to blame for that demise, and she doesn't carry the baggage of the fact that it didn't work out, and she uses the same formula and remains almost the same, could be a little smarter on who to be feminine and submissive to. But if she keeps some of the same traits that got her the ring the first time, she does not need to remarry somebody who was married. She can get that from a first-time guy. Because I think that guys that decide to get married on their own accord, their age does matter, experience does matter, will put their best foot forward if the woman is showing them what they want to see. They will go in. Now, what happens after the marriage begins, how you behave, shit that you fucking start slacking off of, and you know how that go when niggas get comfortable. That's not what I'm talking about, and you can't blame dude on that. So it don't matter if he was a husband before or not. If you put your best foot forward and he's solid to even be in the talks of you wanting to be married to him not being married before shouldn't eliminate him. So I disagree with that totally. And they don't need to stay there. They don't got to stay there. A man that's never been a husband, that don't got shit to do with if he quality or not. I honestly think that. I think it's who he chooses and how he lives his life. He deserves a shot. Because a motherfucker that been a husband, if he ain't shit, he don't get points because he was a husband before. He probably still ain't going to be shit. You feel me? So you don't get it off that title. Sorry. Speeding past here. You'd rather. All right, cool. I'm narrowing down. So this is probably one of the last ones. When a woman hits you up randomly, friends. Now, you know how that friendship shit go. I mean, y'all never went there. I don't know what you want to call yourselves. Associate, co-worker, social media, introduction. However you know this person. Hits you up randomly. Fellas, maintain frame. You got to make them work. Stop jumping that gun. Because women are so fucking sporadic. You can't analyze that interaction. You could get hit up because of something you posted. You could get hit up because of an accomplishment, a joke, any fucking thing. They could go, oh yeah, let me say hi. That's it. If they have a motive or they trying to, play, you gotta make them work. The same way they could play dumb if you hit them. Sorry, you gotta fight fire with fire. Sorry, ladies. Yo, if you get hit up, just play cool. What's good? I'm good. Chilling. Don't assume anything. Make them work. Random ass. Because if we pull up randomly, they're like, we have to go all the way in. Fellas, I want you to understand that. If you don't hit somebody up regularly, there's not a regular interaction, and you choose to shoot a shot, you got to empty the clip. Damn, I dropped 2 gems in this shit. If you gonna shoot your shot, randomly or not, you gotta empty the clip. But when it's not you on that side of things and you get hit up, you will have no work. There's no work required. You just answering, feeding off of whatever energy they give you. Stay calm. I don't care if you in a slump or some shit and you ain't rock out in a minute. Or you trying to catch a body real quick. You can't show thirst. I don't care what your status is. You can't show thirst. You get hit, you play it cool. You should know this is not something that you should be saying, wow, you dropped a... I'm not calling that a gem. But when you shoot your shot, empty that clip. All right, so on the closing thing, I'm going to try to do this regularly like the pet peeve thing. Give you some tips on how to better life or just anything in general that could be a benefit. So I got some health tips for you to close out strong. No caffeine past 11 a.m. Coffee, iced coffee, Google arrest, motherfucker. Whatever else that has caffeine in it. But I know the normal, modern, most common is coffee, right? So no coffee past 11, guys. 11 a.m. Google other things that have it. I think chocolate is in there too. Stop eating after 8 p.m. Now, I'm not going to be insensitive to the fact that you people have different schedules. Some people work overnight. Some people work late afternoon to evening. Try to like make this work within like the times you sleep. And you know what I'm saying? Like you can adjust it. This is, I'm sure, based on people who are 9 to 5. So just adjust it accordingly. Use some intelligence to not take me too literal, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Let's not ramble on. This is just like a guideline. You adjust the time as you need is my point. Stop eating after 8 p.m. Screens off. Phones, guys, after 9 p.m. Journal, meditate, or read. Or you could just put the meditation music on. It's a lot hard to like learn how to like correctly meditate. But try. The other 3 things with that's more active. You can stop the caffeine. You can stop the eating. You could turn your screen off at 9. You may have to learn how to meditate. You know what I'm saying? You could write in your journal. You can read. You feel me? Even if you do audio books, I'm not against that. A lot of people like the old vintage way, reading. I'm listening to 48 Laws of Power right now on an audio book. I'm not far yet. I just started. But that's a good example. Go to bed by 10 p.m. Again, adjust it according to your work. Walk within first hour of waking. Now, that's universal. Does not matter what fucking time you work. The first hour you up, walk. But if to travel to work or at work, you're doing that anyway, then you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? But try to walk within the first hour of waking. Use the nighttime for books, Netflix, Twitter. I don't really understand what the fuck. The books. I guess they're saying you can do, some TV and social media, but the cutoff should be 9, right? Mornings are for lifting, writing, and deep work. Especially if you have some shit on the side, you're trying to get off and floating. You feel what I'm saying? So those 2 to use the night and what you should use the mornings for are questionable. You can just find positive things to get rolling. You feel me? If you can't write 2 pages, write 1. Journals, you know what I'm saying? Like with me, I'm lucky because I do this. So this is kind of like a journal because I do speak my feelings and thoughts. And I take you through a week of, life outside of me. But maybe I should be writing a journal as well. I think I did start one way back and I don't know what happened. If you can't work out 60 minutes, work out 20 minutes. But that walking, if you get one of these smartwatches, whether you have Apple or Android, and you can calculate the steps you got per day, the workout thing is not so much a heavy requirement if you're active. You feel me? My fellas, you can, if you can find some way to do a couple push-ups, 100 a day, or you gonna get to the gym, like you said, if you can't work out 60, work out 20. If you can't meditate 20, meditate 5. You feel me? So just try to get into some of these habits, and it can like have an effect on your life, effect on how you feel internally, and it's a good look. That's all I can say. I actually co-sign some of this, and again, adjust it to your work schedule. So till the next time, stay safe, have a productive week. Super Bowl in 2 weeks, baby, or is it 3? Continue, enjoying the NFL.